Let me take you to the Central Region. Now, residents of Cape Coast who have been waiting on the construction of a new harbour since the governing New Patriotic Party won the 2020 elections may have their hopes dashed. Today, according to President Akufo-Addo, that infrastructure project was never part of the list of commitments tabled before him for his second term. Speaking on Cape Coast-based Eagle FM on Monday, he said, quote, "The commitment was never to a harbour, it was to a landing site."
People of Cape Coast, I have good news for you. We are building a new harbour in Cape Coast and a new airport in Cape Coast. It is very critical that we do that. An airport makes a lot of sense in Cape Coast. It's a real tourist hub, and between Greater Accra, Kumasi and Cape Coast, you have a triangle that really is a lot of hub of economic activity. You can build railway lines between them, and it's a major growth pole if we put an airport here to drive infrastructure growth.
Vice President Dr. BAWUMIA spelling out the manifesto promise for the people of the Central Region. This promise is given effect in the manifesto document. But in an interview with the Cape Coast-based FM station, Eagle FM, the president denied government promised the people of Cape Coast a harbour.
First of all, there's a clarification. The commitment was never to a harbour. It was to a landing site.
Okay.
It's very, very important. And you look inside the MPP, page 88 of the MPP manifesto for the 2020 election, it was clear. And there are several landing sites that we have in the Central Region that are ongoing. The second phase includes Cape Coast. And the idea would be that, once again, next year, that initiation will take place. So as far as the harbour, we have to be very clear in our mind. We never committed ourselves. I never said I was going to build a harbour in Cape Coast. I said I was going to build a landing site, like what I've done in these 6 other places in the Central Region. Cape Coast also will have its own landing site, and the construction of that will begin next year.
The latest development has not gone down well with many of the residents here in Cape Coast. They have expressed surprise about the latest development. On the promise to build an airport for the people of Cape Coast, the president gave a firm commitment that government was keen at building the airport for the people as promised.
The airport?
Yes.
The airport. I think the consensus is the idea is to build an airport for the Western region, to build an airport for the Central region, or to look at the possibility of building an airport situated between the two, which people of both regions would have access to. And that's the decision that has been taken. The studies about the location and the throughput are all ongoing. In fact, I believe in the case of the airport, it's virtually complete. Fortunately for you, the airport is also being undertaken by a minister from this area. Siama, who's the Minister of Transport, is the one who will be responsible for it. So the commitment to build the airport in Cape Coast, that one is 100% committed. Work is ongoing on it, and I think very, very soon, just as we have seen with WA has been completed, O has been completed, Sunyani is almost complete. Cape Coast will also get its own airport. It's not.
Richard Kujanku brought us that report there. Let's do some fact-checking on this. KWAKU ASANTE of our research desk joins me via Zoom with some details on this. KWAKU, first, what is the verdict on the president's claim that he did not promise to build a harbour for the Central Region, and according to the 2020 manifesto of the NPP?
All right, Ernest, the verdict for that is that the president said something that was false. If the president said the party and he did not promise to build a harbour for the people of Central Region, the verdict is false. And let me give you some further details. If you take a look at roads, railways, ports and harbours, the kind of constructions that government said they were going to do if they won the 2020 election, A number of projects were listed there. One of the key things that were listed there, you would see at page 160 of the 2020 manifesto, a new harbour in Cape Coast and also a new airport in Cape Coast. So these were the two major promises that were made to the people of the central region, that they will get a new harbour to be situated in Cape Coast as well as the new airport in Cape Coast. And we know that while the president has not reneged on that promise regarding the Cape Coast airport, he's actually saying that he did not promise that the party was going to build a harbour in Cape Coast. So the verdict for that is false. And just like we saw in the Central Region's correspondence report that just came in, the vice president was actually the one who launched the manifesto, and he was categorical that they were going to build a harbour for the people of the Central Region.
Part of it, the president said they rather promised to build landing sites. What did the manifesto say?
Right, so that is actually accurate, that the president said they were going to build landing sites, and at page 80 of the manifesto, you see that they say they will continue building landing sites at Cape Coast, Mumford, Teshi, Axim, Keta, Ada, Jamestown, and Winneba. So a number of landing sites the government promised they were going to build, particularly one at Cape Coast. The president says that is on course, and so that aspect is accurate, but the one regarding the harbour in Cape Coast is false.
But KWAKU, there's a context to this, the political dynamics in the Central Region at the time this promise was made. Tell us more about that.
Right. In 2016, in the 2016 election, that is in the lead up to the 2020 election, President Akufo-Addo had 496,668 votes in that region, representing 53.2%, whereas former President Mahama had 405,262 votes, 43.4%.
Okay.
The NPP at the time held 19 seats in that region, while the NDC held 4 seats. And so, as you all know, Central Region has been touted as one of the swing regions in Ghana. Any presidential candidate that wins Central Region is most likely to win the presidency, and so that was key. But after the 2020 presidential election, President Akufo-Addo still won the region by 52.71%, while former President Mahama garnered 45.87%. But the NPP did not perform so well in the parliamentary election.
Right.
They lost some of their seats. NDC now had 13 of the seats in that region, while the NPP had 10 seats. And so it was contentious. The promises were made, and it actually, one could say that it actually led to President Akufo-Addo winning the region, although his MPs lost.
Very well. KWAKU, thank you very much. That's ASANTE of our research desk, bringing us some fact-checking on the claims made by the president in Cape Coast.